Here's the first carry for Amir Abdullah. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. M.J. Stewart made the tackle from his corner spot.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Let's go now, let's go.
Here's a give to Fournette. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive.
Set, 260.
They'll go with a big back Fournette, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Tackle made that time by Vita Vea. So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room?
Yeah.
Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16.
Let's go. 190. 190.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On second down, it's Jones. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
A lot of people call the toss a probing play to see what they can get against the defense, to see how they adjust and react. Their probing's working pretty well. That was a very nice run.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and the Bucks take a 3-0 lead. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
On 1st down, Stafford here. Shark's got it left side. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Fournette, a 1st down carry. Always got some breathing room. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Hey, tag 50 left. 11. Set. Blue 60.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this 1st quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Set. Go 20.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the 1st quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe bashed it.
that. Super toe.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Dante Fowler in on the stop.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. Now Kaiser. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So a tough spot for Kaiser. The sack, and now it's 3rd and long. Play action now. Kaiser looking deep downfield. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now, what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. It's a screen to Abdullah. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards.
Set. Lady. Give me radar.
The shotgun snap for Stafford. That one complete. He finds Shark. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Set. Lady. 21. 0.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So out come the Bucs now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. There for the tackle, the former Wisconsin Badger, Leon Jacobs.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Here we go. 38.
Kaiser now on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Kaiser now. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
They go play action here on first down. Left side complete, Safarian Jenkins. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
All right, boys, here we go.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this.
Set. 180.
On first down, Abdullah. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Hurry.
Following the penalty, Abdullah. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 9 big yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On second down, here's Stafford. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
The Jaguars on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7.
You ready? Blue 80. 11. Hey. Not do better. Come on, QB. Come on. Motion. Jumbo.
Just beating the play clock. Stafford. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Gerald McCoy. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And the Jaguars send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
A first down throw for Kaiser. And he finds Howard complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective.
Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48, and they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. After the interception, here's Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. From the gun, Stafford. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The Jaguars on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17.
Set. 180.
Stafford being chased out left. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And this ball is going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. Now Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2.
Flex round! Flex round! Here we go! What? 90! What? 90!
Right back to him on first down. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Let's go! What? 90! What? 90!
And they try to sweep to Jones. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
For those who watch the game and want to question the courage of the guys who play on the corner, how about when you see a toss sweep coming your way, yet you still go into the backfield, get past the blockers, and make the tackle? That's big league.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll go again to Jones. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Come on, let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
On 3rd down, Kaiser. And that is incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Hurry up, get set! Let's go, D.
Operating from the gun, Stafford finding his way through contact. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
To throw on second down is Stafford. He's going to float this one deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. 3rd and long. It's Stafford. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Flex round! Flex round! Here we go! Grand 38! Grand 38! Ohio! Ohio!
Kaiser on first down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 23 yards on the play. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Ohio! Let's go! 190! 190! Ohio! 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 Ohio!
Kaiser now to throw on first down. Over the middle, he finds Godwin, complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Come on, let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Flex round! Flex round!
Second down, Kaiser. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Evans. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Marcel Darius with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Here's Brian Anger now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
From the end zone, Stafford. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And they're going to get this all the way out past the 20. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now in Jacksonville. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. And the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter.
Set. Blue 60. 0. Hey, tag 50 left.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford, he goes underneath to Abdullah. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up on Levante David. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
Following the interception, Kaiser. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. From the gun, Kaiser is going to float this over the middle, deep. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. And that was just a fly route. There was no stop. He just went.
Yeah, and it was beautiful to watch because you have to set it up as you go along. Everyone knows he's fast, so you play him for that. That's the #1 thing you want to take away. But as you go through a game, sometimes you vary the speed in which you come off the line of scrimmage and maybe start a little bit slower, get him to stop his feet a little bit as a defensive back, and then explode and go, as we saw there.
Here's Corey Grant now to return. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this one is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And he comes back with one complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
Big 20, big 20.
On first down, it's Stafford. Steps away to his left. A dump off for Abdullah. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. A big third down play there for the Jags. 45 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Again, it's Stafford. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. On the sneak, it's Stafford. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Matthew Stafford hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars have cut it back within a score. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. A give to Jones. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Now a 2nd down throw for Kaiser. This complete to Jones. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go! Try it 38! Try it 38! Ohio!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a solid run down inside the 30. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out.
Here we go! Try it 38! Try it 38!
Kaiser now on 2nd down. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. The former All-Pro Marcel Darius in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So a tough spot for Kaiser. The sack, and now it's 3rd and long.
Come on, let's go! 190! 190!
From the shotgun, it's Kaiser. It's caught. Jones. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Now Jones. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He's going to get it running right. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Here we go! 190! 190!
Here's Jones. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 4 yards there, but they're still well short of the goal line with 4th down now looming.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you?
I
You loved
did.
the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for the Buccaneers, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, it's a loss that could have implications on the playoff race as they fall to 9-4. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.